primarily because the float was very low. And subsequently, now over 6 months now, we have seen that the float has increased due to various reasons. And we do have a lot of our investors asking inputs from us, so it has become necessary for us to communicate with all the investors and ensure that everybody is on the same page, and that's the reason why we have started the investor calls, and we'll continue to do so, and we expect to, on a timely basis, give inputs to all our investors in terms of the performance of the company as well as in terms of some of the important strategic directions the company is taking from time to time.
Great, sir. Thanks a lot, and congratulations again for good work you are doing. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Sunilji.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management will be able to address questions from all participants in the conference, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Should you have a follow-up question, please rejoin the queue. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Agarwal from Niveshaay Investment Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Congratulations on the very good set of numbers over the years, sir. So my first question would be that what would be the industry size of the EV segment that you have recently acquired, sir?
Well, can you please read on the EV segment?
EV segment.
Yeah, Dhruvji, you are asking about the EV segment market?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me highlight this. The unique part about EMF Innovations is that we have done a grounds up activity to manufacture the markets required for the Indian requirements. So we now manufacture products right from 250 watts right up to 300 kilowatts. As a result, what happens is we are in a position now to supply to all segments of the market. We supply to the two-wheelers, three-wheelers, we supply to passenger cars, we supply to LCV, SCV applications, and also to MCV applications today. And many of our products are under testing, it's under validation, and lot of activities are going on to grow the business there. So the whole segment of the market that is available for electrification is also the market that is available for us to manufacture both electric motors and controllers. Now, the unique part is we will be one of the top few companies who will be manufacturing the controllers and the electric motors locally and supplying it, thereby meeting all the Atmanirbharta and at the same time meeting the requirements of our customers.
Understood, sir, right. So what would be the industry size, if you can quantify, and like out of that industry size, what would be your quantification of, or what would be your share in that?
Well, industry is evolving, so it will be very wrong to say the industry size is limited to this. I think the industry is evolving, as you know, and the EV industry, the penetration today of EV is around 1% of the overall market. And we expect this penetration to keep on increasing, and as it keeps on increasing, our growth also in the EV side will keep on increasing. So right. I think that's the best that we can at this stage inform you.
Right. And sir, what would be the peak revenue from this recently acquired firm that you can add onto the firm, sir? Can you quantify that as well, sir, over the years, like in coming years, sir?
You mean the revenue of the EV segment?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sir.
Yeah, so as you know, it's already there in the public domain. We have done a business of almost 23 crores last year, and we are growing. So there are a lot of huge opportunities that we are working on, and looking at all the new FAME 2 requirements as well as the FAME 3 requirements and the new requirements put forth by the government, we are probably one of the top few companies who are satisfying all those requirements in terms of localization as well as local homologations. So business is bound to grow.
Right. Okay, sir. And sir, like, where do you see your company in coming 3 years? Where do you see your company, sir? In terms of sales and as well as EBITDA or profit, sir?
Well, as far as SPRL is concerned, we expect it to continue continue doing well, and there is no reason why we should look at anything lower. And we are also working on other segments like the EV segment and also the plastic injection molded segment, and hence we think that we will continue our growth story in the auto industry.
Okay, very nice, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dhruv. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rohan from InvestQ Investment Advisors. Please go ahead. Mr. Rohan, I have unmuted your line. Kindly proceed with your question. As the current participant is not answering, we'll move on to the next question, which is from the line of Urvish Zaveri from Pi Square Investments. Please go ahead.
I just wanted to understand, sir, if we see the margins which you have presented, there's an exceptional expansion from around 12% to around 19%. And if we compare with the industry peers, we are obviously the leaders, but the growth here has been phenomenal. Can you highlight some major contributors here, sir?
Yeah, sure. Basically we have, as I said, we have been working on a number of areas, and it included improving on our capacity utilization, ensuring that we are able to work on multimodal systems of power supplies in terms of using also the sustainable solutions, bringing in a lot of operational efficiencies and improving productivities, and also looking at our bleeders and ensuring that we are constantly working on improving the overall margin. So multiple actions have been taken place right from supply chain to our markets, which have really helped us to grow our top line as well as the bottom line. And I think most of these, the good part is all of these actions are very sustainable, and we expect that it will really help us in the going years.
Okay, sir. And one more question, sir. What's our vision as a management for the next 3 to 5 years as a company? Where do we see ourselves in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, going at the the growth rate of the CAGR that we have achieved so far, so my expectations is to improve further on the CAGR. So there is no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that, and we are looking at at various ways of improving our top line and bottom line as a group, because with multiple actions taking place on acquisitions, mergers, there is no limitation with the kind of money that we are generating. So it will be wrong to put only a target. Our targets are very, very steep, and we expect that based on the market demand, we will continue to grow the business, and it is going to be a positive story.
Yes, sir. And sir, last question here. The recent acquisitions of EMF and Takahata, are we expecting any new capex in the coming year in these acquisitions?
Well, we as management always believe that we have to continue to grow the business, grow the franchise. Whether it is, as I said in my talk, that we expect many of the technologies to coexist, which means the EV will coexist, the IC engines will coexist in various forms, whether it is in hybrid or in flex fuels or in hydrogen blended CNG, etc. So there is going to be multiple areas on which we will continue to work to improve our technology and improve our offerings to our customers. So it will become necessary for us to ensure that all our businesses, we are necessary to put capex to grow the business. So there will certainly be capex infusions that will happen, and it will continue to happen in all the businesses to grow the business.
That's correct, sir. But do we have any planned figure for FY25, like in terms of quantified number?
Yeah, we do have, but that number is still getting for the year 24-25. We have a couple of new projects. See, what happens in a growing industry like electrification is there are new acquisitions of businesses that are happening almost on a daily basis. So this figure is continuing to grow, and we are improving our capacity. As I said, we have just taken a new piece of land in Coimbatore. We are building up a state-of-art modern facility there, and we'll be putting in a lot of money there.
Okay. And sir, just the last question to conclude. What would be our current utilization level, around 70-75% or more than that? Across at the...
Continue to work with a very, tight way of managing our capacity utilization. So we are seeing on an average, it is all 75 plus kind of a situation that we see in the businesses that we have invested so far.
Thank you, sir, and all the best. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants to limit their questions to 2 per participant. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Naveen Matta from Mahindra Manulife. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. The question was on domestic, revenue mix. Can you just kind of break that out into, how much is to the two-wheeler, four-wheeler segment?
Yeah. So, as I said, if you go through our presentation, which is uploaded in our portal, you'll see that our more than slightly over 50% is coming from our OE segment, and we do have a good mix of aftermarket and exports. Now, what happens in aftermarket and exports is also there is a bifurcation of two-wheelers and the passenger car business. So the mix keeps on changing a little bit. So we don't really publish these numbers, but I can tell you for sure that no one segment of the market, whether it is two-wheeler, whether it's three-wheeler, or whether it is passenger car, is over maybe 17-18% of our overall business.
Okay, that's useful. And sir, you mentioned about, the drivers for margin improvement. I was just trying to, get a sense of, we've already hit about 23% margins in the third quarter. I'm just trying to understand, where do we see any upside to this, or, do you think we would sustain?
Well, as you would have seen from the record of our last 4 years, we have always outperformed the market. So we are hoping that we can do more. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Okay. And so can you talk about, you mentioned about EV orders. Can you speak about order wins or any major customers where you might have bagged some orders?
Yeah, we have backed a number of orders, and since most of these orders are under validation phase, homologation phase, there are a lot of, of course, series supplies are also going on. So it will be wrong on my part to give the names at this stage, because most of the customers are wanting us to hold it confidential, and they've signed non-confidentiality agreements. So we can't have the disclosures of those names at this stage.
But can you highlight any kind of lost order book that you might have, or potentially you could win in the next 12 months? Anything that you can kind of indicate?
We don't give those figures, but you can be rest assured that we will grow the business. When we are not, going to invest such a huge piece of money in for buying a new piece of land and building a new modern ultra facility if we don't have business, right? Our business commitments.
Sorry, sir, I missed out. What is the investment? I mean, what is the quantum of investment?
It's already there in the public domain. I think it's over 700 million.
Okay. And just one last one, sir. How should we think about, your growth especially in the domestic OEMs? We have most of the ancillary companies highlighting that, whatever the market growth is, they would grow about, anywhere between 3, 5, 7% above that.
Let me answer this last question of Mr. Mar. So basically, Maharaji, that, we continue to, as I said, even the domestic business, we are continuing to outgrow the market. And this comes from various possibilities of penetrations into markets which we have not penetrated earlier, getting into new customers, and also trying to ensure that we completely support our existing customers on all their new programs. So this will continue, this drive will continue to grow the business share.
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from the line of Chirag Uttam Jain from Emkay Global. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, can you share some thought process in terms of the new product categories or segments that we would like to enter, both organic and inorganic? I mean, you may not give specific categories, but the overall thought process as to what all, let's say, segments would be relevant to us in the overall scheme of things.
Yes, Chiragji. So certainly, we are looking at various segments, and as I said, with all the work that we did over the last now, in less than 3 years, we have closed 2 mergers and acquisitions. And if you see the product portfolio, we have tried to maintain it to be within the automotive realm, because we are experts in that field, and we know that we have a good reach with all our customers, and we would prefer to be within this field. So with that in mind, I think our direction is more towards, since we are very well impregnated into the IC engine space, which includes also the hybrids and the non-EV applications like the flex fuels as well as others. We would like to certainly look at areas which are agnostic to the IC engines, which means any product or any product portfolio which is going to be there both in IC engine as well as EV vehicles is an area that we would be looking at. We have done some high degree of work on this, and we are continuously working to see how we can progress on this. For example, in Takahata, the products that we make goes into steering applications, it goes into seat belt applications, it goes into body parts, it goes into trim applications, it goes into rooftop applications. So there are a number of applications that it is going into. So similarly, we are looking for products which can go into multiple areas within the automotive realm.
Thank you, sir. One more question on the aftermarket side, because that's a very big part of your revenue, almost 26% as you shared in the presentation. And it's also over here as to what kind of initiatives we are doing on the aftermarket business and in terms of the growth outlook for that piece in particular.
Yeah. Aftermarket is all about reach. So we have focused over the last many years now to ensure that we have all the right touch points across the country. I'm very happy to state that we have over 1,200 touch points across the country today. And we have multiple distribution network only in India. And we are also supplying to over 45 countries, which includes both for OEMs as well as for aftermarket applications. And we supply to many of them with our partners across various countries. So it's all about getting the reach, and I think I am very happy to state that we have a very, very good reach, and we can use this network very usefully. And this network is also trained for doing a lot of service-related issues in case the issue comes up. And this network will also be used for all our EV applications.
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from the line of Piyush Parag from Nuvama Wealth and Investment Limited. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir, and congratulations for a really good presentation. So a few questions I have regarding a couple of questions. First, if you can just throw some light on, customer concentration that you have for both of your domestic and exports, maybe top 3, top 5 customers, how they look. The other questions would be like more how, how do you see this, any of your new businesses, either from the product or maybe from the customers? How do you target for, say, suppose FY24 or maybe FY25, 26? How do you see this new business will contribute going forward, and what is kind of the trend that you are seeing? So if you can put some color on that, and probably your capex, how do you look the capex to be? What is your growing capex? What is your maintenance capex? So these are 2 questions from my side. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Piyushji, basically, as I said, we supply to almost all the OEMs in the country, and then at different segments, a point in time, different customers become our top 3. It moves up and down based on the segment of the industry that we work on. Sometimes a two-wheeler manufacturer will come in the top 3, and sometimes he may drop from the top 3. So that's why we don't really spell out our top 3 customers. But you can be rest assured, as I said, all the top names which I read out in my message just now are there in the top bracket, which includes Maruti Suzuki, Mahindra, Tatas, Bajaj, Hero, Escorts and others, and Cummins.
Yeah. So just wanted to understand that new business contribution would be how much, sir? I mean, just what do you target to have for this year, 25, 26, how would your new business contributions would be? From that you have?
Yeah, Piyushji, see, when the market is growing at a CAGR of 3 to 5%, and we are growing at a rate of around 15% or 14-15%, you can be rest assured that we are breaking into newer markets, newer segments of the business, and trying to outgrow the business. So we will continue to invest in all the technologies and capacities, always ahead of the market, ahead of the market. So we believe in growing our business that way and ensuring that we have sustainable businesses from all our customers. So we have continued to do that, and we will continue to do that.
Okay, so that's great. And just some sense on the capex. How do you look at the capex?
As I said, you can see the capex figures that are already there in our, in the public domain, and we plan to invest similar numbers. There are also very specific areas where we are trying to grow the business with new businesses coming in. And that's the 700 million that we talked about putting in Coimbatore for growing our electric vehicle portfolio, along with MOU that has been signed with the Tamil Nadu government with a new plant coming up in Coimbatore. All that is the capex that we will be putting in for growing the EV business, including the way that we will be growing all our existing business. The existing business also, we are continuing to put our money regularly and keeping investing on newer technologies. For example, we have to continuously work on newer technologies like the hydrogen piston for hydrogen applications, pistons with hydrogen blended CNG applications. All this the piston undergoes a massive change with the change in the fuel, and we have to continue to invest in these capex.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Piyush. Thanks a lot.
I will get back to you.
Surely.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of NGN Puranik from Enam Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Thanks for a wonderful presentation. I have a question on your technology group, because you seem to be making some complex engineering product. It's not easy for everyone to make this. And you have 2 collaborations, plus you have a robust R&D, and you have done a couple of acquisitions. So all this brings a lot of process technology to the table. So I want to understand what are these 2 technologies where the formal agreements you have are contributing to your process today, plus also your own R&D. If you can give a complete view of your technology focus and processes, that will be wonderful.
Surely. So basically, if you really see the technology agreements that we have technology agreements with 4 of our partners. One is for manufacturing of pistons and piston-related technologies, and the second one is for manufacturing of piston rings and its technologies, and the third one is with Fuji Ozex for manufacturing of engine valves. We also have the 4th technology agreement with Honda Foundry, which again requires a very unique piston manufacturing technology, which is applicable only for Honda cars across the globe. And once we have started supplies to Honda, we can supply anywhere in the globe with that technology. So those are the technology partnerships that we have, which have ensured that we have grown our business with, especially on our legacy business with these partners. Similarly, we plan to grow our business, the newly acquired business of Takahata. That's why we have the Takahata Japan still holding around 38% of the ownership the company because we believe in partnership and we believe in sitting on the same side of the table to work on strategies for the business. And that is how we have been able to, ensure that we are able to get into newer businesses as far as Takata is also concerned. And the same way, even with EMF International, we have EMF partners who are sitting in Singapore, working, sitting with us with a 34% stake and continuing to grow the business in MFI. So this is our strategy, ensure that we have the right technology partners, ensure that we are able to put in the capex and grow the business.
My question is, when you have technology partnerships, they provide certain processes and then you absorb those processes. Do you see every year an incremental value add coming from these technology guys, or they are there just for a decorative value?
No. They actually, these technology partners have to, when we sit with a technology partner, it actually gives us an example of what not we should do to be able to survive in India.
Excellent. That's a greater advice. Yeah.
Let me give you an example. For example, if you see a electric motor, I know I used to live in China for almost 5 years, okay? And if you see in China, most of the electric vehicles are single owner driven. You will hardly see a Chinese two-wheeler going with 4 people sitting on the motorcycle or on the vehicle. Now, if you bring the motor and controller from that Chinese manufacturer and try to put it in a vehicle here, you have seen the result, what is happening. Everything is burning and you are getting hundreds of heating issues and this and that. So many things happening, right? But whereas in what we have done is we have done grounds up. We have ensured that we make the product which is ideal for Indian conditions. We have done engineering on it. We have ensured that it is able to take the required torque and speed levels and able to required kilowatt ratings to ensure that we give the best efficiency of the motor, thereby reducing the drain on the battery. We also, in some applications, we also have given motors coupled with a step-up transformer, step-up gearboxes to ensure that we get very high efficiencies of the motors. Now, these are the work that needs to be done locally because the Indian conditions are very, very typical to India. These are not where you can just blindly bring a product or a process from abroad and fit it. But we know for sure that whatever has been tried, we don't want to go through the route where we go through multiple iterations on issues which have been time-tested elsewhere in the globe, so that we spend more time in development as per the requirement of the country and not wasting our time on developments which should not in the country.
So they help you to localize technology or a design to the market condition here.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from the line of Dhruv Mudarati from BP Wealth. Please go ahead. As the current participant is not answering, we'll move on to the next question from the line of Ashish Ukkanlavar from InvestQ. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. Sir, from whatever we discussed now, it seems to be the strategy that the acquisitions would be there on the non-IC side, and we are trying to get more and more diversification on the plate. So one would assume that further acquisitions would be in the pipeline. So if you could give us your thought process onto which areas you would be looking at, because I think a couple of acquisitions are on a different wicket, basically into injection molding and into control systems, etc. So what all would come under this, and are we right in understanding that more acquisitions probably would come?
For sure. No, we are ensuring that we are deploying our cash quite well. And we will continue to invest into more mergers and acquisitions. But as I said, even the ones that we have done so far, they are all related to automotive applications. So our strength is in the automotive area, and we want to ensure that we continue to grow in that particular area. Areas where we'll continue to invest for our mergers and acquisitions will be any area which is agnostic to the ICE engine. That is what we have set ourselves a target. There could be a small applications into the ICE engine along with the kind of products for other areas of the car. that could also be a possible acquisition area. So we are looking at all the possibilities, but primarily at areas which are agnostic to the ICE engines.